What is everybody? It's the one and only Small on here, bringing you guys another video, some Call of Duty gameplay, just like I always do. And first off, I know you guys are wondering, wow, look at that title. But first off, I want to say shout out to King J again. That's the homie. Just watched his how he had sex in the car video, and I told him, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about how I lost my virginity. And yeah, so let's get this video started. So basically this video is about to be about how I lost my virginity, and it's actually kind of funny because where it happened and who it happened with was like really crazy, and I never thought it was gonna happen. To be honest, I was always like, damn, I'm probably lose my virginity when I get married. I was like, you know what? One day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just wait until I get married. And then I was like, nah, it ain't gonna happen when I get married. But anyways, let's just get into it. So basically, one day I was in a public place with my friends, and my friend knew this girl, and I thought the girl was actually pretty cute. And I was like, hey bro, what's up with the girl? And he was like, hey bro, I don't know, but I'll see what's up. So he goes over there and he tells her like, hey, my friend, he likes you. And she's all like, comes back and he tells me, well bro, she says she don't like you, she don't like the way you act, you blah 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 blah, whoop de whoop. And I'm like, wow, now it's time to have to bag her. I'm gonna have to get her since she said all that. So time went by and I was like, you know what, I walked up to her, I was like, hey, can I get your number? And sure enough, she gave me her number. And I was just texting her and I was like, hey, how you doing? Every day with a good morning, and every night with a good night. And how you doing? How's your day going? Just small talk. And every day she used to say, I don't like you, I don't like you. I'm like, all right. So time went on. Like, I'm gonna say I was talking to her for like 3 months, and finally I was like, let's go to the movies. Or actually, I think she was like, let's go to the movies. But someone said, let's go to the movies. And I was like, all right, sure. I was like, all right, let's go to the movies. So we ended up going to the movies. But before the movies, we went to the mall and we just walked around. Like, it really wasn't shit to do because the mall is right down the street from my house. And the mall is like, all right. They got a Foot Locker, they got a Macy's, a JCPenney's. It's all okay. But it's really nothing like that's going to blow your mind. Like, I don't know. But so basically, we walked around in the mall for a little bit, and then the movie started at 10, and it was already like 9:30. So he's like, you know what? Let's head to the movie theaters. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Shit, it's your shit. Let's go. So we ended up going to the movie theaters kind of early, like 9. It was like 9:40 when we got there. So it only took us like about 10 minutes to get there because it's the mall, and right across the street is the movie theater. So it's not that far and not that big a walk. So we ended up getting there. And we were there kind of early, and we bought our tickets. I bought one for me. I had to buy one for her because I'm a man. I was like, I'm just buy one for her, whatever. And this whole time, I wasn't even thinking like, hey, I'm about to have sex in the movie theaters. Like, I just gave it away. I had sex in the movie theaters. But basically, I was like, I'm not about to have sex in the movie theaters. So basically, we was in there, and I bought her a ticket. She bought, and I got mine. And I was like, hey, let's go get something from the concession stand. So we at the concession stand, and I'm like, you want anything to drink? She has a little attitude out of nowhere. Nah, I want nothing to drink. I'm like, all right. You want some popcorn? Nah, I don't want no popcorn. I just want to see a movie. I was like, well, goddamn. And if you guys are wondering what movie we went to go see, we actually went to go see that Disney movie Frozen, which is actually a kind of cool movie. And I think it actually would be a kind of funny movie if I ended up watching the movie. So yeah, I know you guys can kind of get something from that. So basically, we ended up going into the movie theater, and I guess it was the last week that the movie was supposed to be playing, and there was nobody in there. It was just me and her, and I'm looking around to really make sure, like, hey, is anyone in here? And all of a sudden, we're just sitting in the movie theaters, and the movie starts to come on. It's the intro, and all of a sudden, she just grabs me and starts kissing on me, and I'm like, well, goddamn, well, what the fuck? Like, I thought she didn't like me. So, she's grabbing on me, she's kissing on me, and then I just felt like her biting on my neck, all that little sexual type shit, like giving me hookies and all that. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Now, before this point, I've never really, had a hickey, or like I had a hickey, I've given hickeys, but it wasn't nothing like this. This was some major heavy duty work. Like, she was putting in work on my neck. Like, if you looked at my neck, it looked like a vampire that ran through my shit. Like, it was really crazy. So then, that was going on. She kept, sucking on my neck, and I was like, oh, this feels so bomb. What the fuck? So I was just laying there like, all right, this is actually pretty cool. Like, this is cool. So I'm just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I just feel her hands go down. Like, first they just slide down my chest onto my stomach, and then onto my waist. And then next thing I know, my pants is down, and my dick is out. And I was all like, oh my God, Mr. Jimmy, you out. And then, I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and I just put my head back, and I'm like, oh shit. And all of a sudden, I just started getting some head. And to be honest, I got head before, but I never got head like this. Like, this was some major head. Like, this was the shit that makes you go into a coma, start twitching, your legs start twitching and shit, you know, your curls toe up, all that. That's the kind of head it was, and it was freaking bomb. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I ain't trying to, you know, spill milk all over her face or something like that. If you guys know what I'm saying, you guys know what I mean, spilling milk on her face. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So, you know, she's doing that and it's feeling really bomb. And I'm just going into a trance, like meditating, like, oh my gosh, trying to concentrate. And it was feeling so bomb. And I'm like, God, this girl can put in some work. Like, this girl might be my next wife. Like, and at the whole time, like, just putting a quick note, I waited until I was like 18 to actually lose my virginity. Like, before I was 18, I got other stuff, but 18 was actually the mark of me actually losing my virginity, which was kind of funny because I know a lot of kids like, or my age, or actually my friends, they lost when they was like 16, 17, even 15. I was like, 15? What the fuck was you fucking? Like, it was crazy. But anyway, so, you know, she's giving me a head, and then all of a sudden, she's like, look. And I looked, and she just was butt-ass naked in front of me, and the movie's going on, and I see just her, like she was glowing. I'm like, oh my God, look at them. Yes, like, them yes. And I'm like, damn, wow, you got some nice, you know, yes. And I'm like, damn, you got a nice yes. And I'm like, fuck, what's about to happen? So all of a sudden, all I know, that's my phone going off, by the way. All I know is she just sits down. She's all like, what do you want to do? And in my head, I'm like, I don't have a condom. She's like, you have a condom? I'm all like, yeah, I have a condom. I'm like, God damn, I ain't got a condom. She's like, all right, I trust you. So, you know, she opened up them legs, and I started playing with the you-know-what, and I was like, whoa, this is actually kind of tight. I started sticking my fingers in there and everything, started twirling it around, started rubbing on it, and I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. Like, this is some crazy shit. And keep in mind, this girl that I'm messing with is actually the daughter of somebody that is, like, well known to, like, I guess you could say my family or the public. I don't know how you could say, like, I guess I'll just say my family. He's well known to my family, and this is his daughter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you would never think this girl would do some stuff like this. And she was just doing that, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So all of a sudden, she's all like, I want you to put it in. I'm like, I already got my fingers in. And she's all like, I want you to put it in. I'm all like, you want me to put my other hand in? And she's like, no, I want you to put the other thing in. I'm all thinking, like, I mean, I can't stick my head in there. I'm like, oh, you want me to put Mr. J inside you? I was like, oh, okay. And in my head, I'm like, oh, shit, bro. Like, you ain't got a condom, and you about to stick your dick inside this. And then keep in mind, she was a virgin. I already knew she was a virgin, you know. Just because I know and how well I known her, kind of, she was a virgin. Like, I know I told you guys this was a homie friend, but I did kind of know about her and stuff like that. So I knew what she was about, and I knew she wasn't no ran-through girl. So when she told me put it in, I'm like, oh, shit. My heart started beating and all this stuff, and, like, everything just dropped. I'm all like, all right, then, I guess I'm going to just go in. So for the first time, when I tried to put it in, that shit was tight than a motherfucker. It felt like somebody wrapped like a rubber band around my dick like 5 times. Like, the blood flow was going away, and I was like, oh my gosh. But then I took it out. I'm like, whoa, this is kind of weird. So then I go in for a second time, and all I hear is, oh! I was all like, oh shit, did I hurt you? She was all like, no, it felt good, do it again. I was like, all right, let me just stick it in again. So, you know, I'll go in even deeper, and then I hear a loud ass moan. Her hands just fly up, her legs are just like up in the air, and I'm like, oh shit, I got a girl butt ass naked sitting in the movie theater watching a Disney movie, and Frozen is on. This is some crazy shit. And I'm all like, this ain't real. I'm like, nah, this shit is real. So then I take my thing out one more time, and I go in again. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, ah. And I'm all like, oh yeah. And she's like, yeah. And I look at her, and I see her eyes roll back to the back of her head, and she's all like, oh my God. And I'm all like, oh my God. And she's just there, and she's like in her little trance, like, I think I've given her an orgasm. I think she about to have a seizure type shit. And I'm just there like, what do I do? Is this really how, am I doing it right? Like, I have no idea this is how you have sex. But I just started doing strokes, like, you know how they be doing on Pornhub? Yeah, I started doing that stuff, and I just started stroking it, and she started liking it, and she just started grabbing me, so like touching my hair and all this stuff, and then she's just like, oh my gosh, this feels so bomb, this feels so bomb. And I'm all like, yeah, this shit feels so bomb, oh my gosh. And she was all like, oh my gosh, more and more. And then, you know, I guess she expected some more else in return, because you know how, you know, previously I told her she gave me some head, or she told you guys she gave me some head. She was like, I want some head. I'm all like, what do you mean you want some head? I mean, you should have asked for that shit before I stuck my dick inside you. Now, that's just one thing. I will give you some head, but do not tell me to give you some head after I just stuck in my dick inside you. Like, that's basically me sucking my own dick, and I'm not about to suck my own dick. That was some weird shit what she asked for. And she was all like, please, can I have some head? I'm all like, hell no, you can't have no head. She's like, please. I'm like, no. She's like, please. I'm like, I will get the fuck up and go home. And she's all like, please just give me some head. I'm all like, ask me one more time and you gonna be a dead bitch. And she's all like, all right, you know what? Just keep putting in the dick. And I'm all like, all right, let me just keep putting it in. So then, you know, I'm getting strokes and I'm going in for a while. Her legs are up. She's in her little trance. I'm like, yeah, get this shit, get this shit. And then all of a sudden, I hear the movie. I finally hear the movie. Like, this whole time, the movie is like being excluded. I can't hear it at all. Like, I don't know why. It was playing. I just couldn't hear it. I was in a trance. So all of a sudden, I hear it. And, you know, it's the movie Frozen, you know, again. And all I heard is, do you wanna build a snowman? And I'm all like, oh shit, this is about to be the climax for me. I'm building up. I'm like, oh snap, I'm about to spill the milk. And then she's like, do you wanna build a snowman? I'm like, oh shit. And she's like, do you wanna build a snowman? And I'm all like, yes. And I just spilled the milk. And I was all like, oh my God, oh shit. And like, you know, Frozen has that little snowman Olaf. And I'm all like, fuck, I just made a snowman. I just made an Olaf. And I'm all like, oh crap, I think I just made an Olaf. Like, oh crap, and I ain't got a condom on. And she's all like, what happened? I'm all like, nothing. And I just keep beating it up, acting like, you know, nothing happened. I'm all like, oh my God. In my head, I'm thinking, I just spilled my milk all inside of this girl. And she's all like, you all right? I'm all like, yeah, just be quiet. I'm like, start beating it. I'm like, you know what? I was like, I think I'm done. And I just pretended that I took the condom off and I threw that shit. Like, pretended that I threw it. And she's like, oh, thank God you had a condom on, because, you know, I'm so happy you didn't notice me. I'm all like, yep, okay, sure, yeah, okay. And in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, line, small line, what did you do? You did the stupidest shit, the number one rule you're not supposed to do. And I'm thinking in my head like, nah, I'm good, I'll be all right. And she's all like, oh, thank God you didn't. She kept just saying it, thank God you didn't do that, because I'm not ready to be a mom. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I go home, and, you know, she goes home, and I'm at my house. And I don't know, like a week or two later, she texts me like, I have something to tell you. I'm all like, okay, here comes the kick in the balls. And she's all like, well, I haven't had my period in a while, and I think I might be pregnant. And I'm all like, oh, well, you think you might be pregnant? Well, maybe you should go get that checked out. And she's all like, nah, I'm gonna just wait and see if I'm pregnant. In the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, my mom is gonna beat my ass. So I'm just thinking like, damn, I might be a dad and my mom might be a grandma, and she gonna whoop my ass. And I'm just thinking like, this is so crazy. So, you know, a couple more weeks go by, and, you know, I'm just doing my shit, going to school, going to work, you know, trying to save up money for, you know, me being a pretend dad or some shit, or me actually being a dad. I'm all like, oh, fuck, I might be a dad. She's all like, yeah, I still haven't had my period. I'm like, all right, like, I guess I'm a dad. Like, I wasn't even too shocked about it. I was like, you know what? That's one thing. I want kids. Like, that's something I really, really want, are kids. But anyway, she was just saying like, oh, I might be pregnant. And then, you know, the next day, I guess 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks went by, and she's all like, I finally had my period. I was like, oh, thank God, bye. And that's actually how it went down. I was like, thank God, bye. I don't want to talk to you no more. That was some scary shit, even though it would have been my fault. But yeah, I was like, oh well. And she's like, wait, what do you mean by it? I'm all like, I ain't talking to you no more. She's like, but I thought, yeah, you thought wrong. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is exactly how I planned out. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to go check out my guys, my homeboy King J. He does YouTube too. We got some good content. Go check it out. His link will be in the bio below. And yeah, Grub Nation. If you guys don't know what Grub Nation, I have another friend named GRUBZIE. He does Twitch. If you guys want to go follow him, please go follow him. Actually, he's starting something up, Grub Nation. So go check that out. He's really cool at Twitch. He's really great. I really advise you guys to go check him out too. King J does Twitch too. Go check him out too. All their links will be in my bio. Thank you guys. Peace out. Have a wonderful day and be ready for the next video. Bye-bye.